Hi, this is Nyanta Spellman with Rainforest Partnership, bringing to you Our Planet, Our Future, a video podcast presented by Rainforest Partnership. Find us at www.rainforestpartnership.org and on social media. Join us as we bring interesting and compelling guests to talk about the environment, climate change, and rainforests. Hi, I'm Nyanta Spellman with Rainforest Partnership, and
I'm Jane Lyons from Reserva Las Relarias in Mindo, Ecuador.
And we're here
Soaking wet because we just came back from a long walk in the rain in the forest, and we're going to show you what all we saw.
Thank you for joining us, and enjoy.
Come join us.
This is a beautiful cloud forest, and you can help Jane do all sorts of things if you ever came here.
Well, exactly, and you can enjoy it and have fun as well.
Jane and I are walking, and you just started saying something.
Here's the nest where two of those same little birds fledged about 4 days ago.
Oh my.
That's the little white-sided flower piercer nest. They use this grass.
It's funny.
I don't know if that'll turn out very well, but I'm just showing it to you.
It's funny, my eyes can see better than the camera. You can kind of see it there. There it is. Okay. Yep.
All this grass is left over from the cattle grazing.
Because this was a cattle ranch, wasn't it?
Yeah. And all this was pasture.
And
Slowly but surely, it's, and the problem with this grass is it's African honey grass. If you cut it, it just grows faster.
Oh,
So you have to kind of wait. And then what you get eventually is this Asteraceae, this plant right here, which is an Asteraceae, slowly but surely starts coming in and establishing its roots. It has pretty little flowers that the bees and some birds feed on. But the especially good thing about it, because this honeygrass has these really hard, dry rocks of root balls that won't let anything grow. But these...
Do you plant them, or do they just come by?
Well, we did. I mean, we do sometimes, but they come in on their own. This one is not. There you go. It is basically hollow. Ah. You can't really see how it's hollow in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get a better one.
No, but you can.
But that allows this water to get down below the root system of this plant, of this grass. And so begins to break up those hard roots of the invasive grass. I can't seem to find one that's...
And so this was all planted, this grass?
The grass was all planted.
So it's
was
not even
burned.
native?
It's not native. It's African.
Gosh.
And it's great for cows, but
terrible
nothing
for the
else.
forest.
Yeah. Well, you can see a little bit in that one. It's a little bit better, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you can, that
Okay.
it's hollow.
It's hollow, and it helps get the water, because otherwise the rain just stops up here, and the grass is perfectly fine and never goes away. This is another one of our crotons that we've planted.
Ah.
So this is a very good tree, but we have to tend these trees.
And that's how you slowly regenerate.
Yeah.
And
that's these big, tall. There's two species. This is actually the longer lived of the two species, but they're very, very important trees for regeneration of the cloud forest.
And when you say long lived, how long?
Well, for these Euphorbiaceae, maybe 30 years. That's not, but you see, can you see? Well, these don't have fruits, but they drop. Here, you can look at that way up there. All those flowers on that tree.
Right.
So once it gets to that age, all those become trees. They all drop. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of seeds up there.
Right.
And they drop in this, so they just keep regenerating. So even though the mother tree may not last more than 30 years, there's a whole forest of those trees once those 30 years are up. But it's not a hardwood. It's a, you know, it's just a good pioneer species.
And you need them for regenerating
you have
a
to have
forest.
that. That's the first step. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get this stuff, you get rid of the grass, and then you have these crotons that come in and drop their seeds everywhere, and little by little it all takes over the grass. None of these trees did we plant. They just came in on their own.
And I remember every time I've come, the forest here looks completely different. It's
Well, it's thicker and better.
better, yeah.
I mean, trees fall on occasion, but all of these are really important, as I say, for the first phase, pioneer species of regenerating this kind of forest. And plus, they're beautiful trees, and the birds eat those fruits, and you know, so they're very, very easy and very, very important. Then we come in with these cloud forest mahogany seeds, and which appear maybe once every 8 or so years.
really that rare.
Yeah, and even then, depending on the rain and we if they're just out in the forest, of course they just regenerate there. But if they're in the trail, we collect them and bring them in, and then we plant them. And here's one. This is one we planted about, gosh, what, probably 6 years ago now.
And it's finally
It's
about what, 10 feet tall?
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to begin with. Wow, it's
Well,
already hard.
Well, it's hard to get it through this grass.
Yeah.
But here you can see how this is one of these open stem things that,
Oh wow, you can see
see
how
that
much
one.
space it has. Yeah.
and so when it rains, that just helps get water down to the roots, because otherwise this grass just covers.
It's got a mat. I
Exactly.
imagine.
And it's, I don't know, you can see how thick it is. It doesn't let anything else grow in there.
I think this is an important lesson for people, that when you take the forest out, it doesn't come back naturally often, because you have species like this,
Well, you have invasives that people have left or planted or whatever.
and then they take
But
over.
I think, you know, for many things, it doesn't have to be pristine. We have to say pristine forests, obviously. But I have so many people say, "Oh, it'll never be good enough for wildlife." I'm like, we have every species of wildlife here that has ever been recorded here,
and all
and
these
even new species of frogs and so forth and so on.
You've had several, 6 I remember last
Well,
time
we've
I was
got
here.
7 endangered species of frogs, and we've got, I think, 3 or 4 now that are new species. This is since 2003. There were no frogs here. There were no trees. I'll show you the pictures. So it's like, don't make excuses. Just start revegetating. If it's not perfect, okay, it's not perfect. But it is usable by most species of wildlife, and plants and orchids and da-da-da. So,
Give them a chance to
give
come
them
back.
a chance, yeah. And that's
Yeah.
why, you know, I preach to everybody, you know, leave a little part of your backyard and let it just become nature. You know, why not? It's not hard. It's no big effort. Here's another one of these cloud forest mahoganies. You can see how they grow. They have these beautiful
Yeah,
red
that's
leaves.
just gorgeous.
Isn't that pretty?
That is just beautiful.
And I have some even taller ones over here.
When did you plant this one?
I don't remember exactly. We do have them written down, but this one, to me, it's probably about 6 years ago. So it's about 6 years. The first, I don't know, couple of years, it's slow, but then all of a sudden they start growing pretty.
Yeah, it's the same
Pretty
thing
good.
what my trees do in Austin.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with children too.
Yes.
You know, all of
They
a sudden,
sprout.
every year you got to buy them new shoes, right? Every
Or
3 months.
like my child grew several inches in a span of 5. He was growing about an inch a month.
Well, exactly. In Rolando's children, he brings his son. I'm like, is this the same son? Because he's like twice as tall as he was 2 months ago. But it's the same son.
I love the tree fern.
Isn't that a gorgeous?
That's one
Plant.
of my favorite.
I don't know how far away you are.
I am.
But you can begin to see the difference. This is regenerating pasture. And here we've got some more mahoganies that we've planted. But that's the real forest down there.
Down there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you can
And
see.
so we're making the connection that was cut with the road. We're reconnecting this side of the forest with that side of the forest on that side. And so
And you
that-
can see how much more mist there is in the forest
absolutely.
than when you have places that are all cleared.
Exactly. Why don't people understand the water cycle? It's amazing to me.
That and you can always see this in the forest where you see pasture, you can see the sun shining on it, and then you see the areas that are just full of forest, and it's just in mist.
It's got water, exactly.
Yeah.
And I see people say, oh, you know, you don't need the understory, you just need the trees. It's like, wait a minute, the cycle is not this way.
No,
The
it's not
cycle is this
horizontal.
way.
Yeah.
You know, it recycles this way, and it comes up from the ocean, and it gets into the trees, and then it goes here, and it recycles the whole recycling system. But if you cut down all of this, that's not a forest anymore. And you have to have the understory too. But people are like,
You have the
"Oh,
whole
yeah."
ecosystem.
You have to have the whole ecosystem, and these trees are the lungs of this ecosystem. If they're not here and there's no leaves, there's no recycling. And that's, you know, you see deserts. Deserts don't have trees.
No.
It's not that deserts don't have trees, it's that because there are no trees, it's a desert. People look at it a little bit backwards sometimes, you know. So,
It's an odd thing that,
well, because we look at everything from a human perspective. And that's the way humans think. You know, it's from our little place down here, so the tall things are what important, but the low things are very important too. And that's where you get your tree ferns, and that tree fern is beautiful over there.
that one is gorgeous.
Isn't that
Look at
pretty?
all those spikes.
Yeah, and you know what? The coronets, those beautiful little purple and blue and black birds,
Yeah.
and most of the other species of hummingbirds use those little, you can't very see them, maybe we can see them close up. There's like little hairs.
Yes,
and
I
they
can
use
see them.
those to line their nests
Oh,
because it's not only soft, but it's dry. It's amazing how dry those, maybe there's one right here, but no, we can't see that.
yeah.
And so if you don't have tree ferns and you put out hummingbird feeders, okay, you're going to have hummingbirds, but they're not going to be able to nest because that's what they have to nest.
The two coexist.
They have to go together.
Yeah. There is
This particular tree is called a cestrum,
this one here.
right here. It's a, you know, kind of a fast-growing, very short-lived. You can see it's not overly impressive, but you see
Feeds
what,
a lot of insects.
you see how many insects have been feeding on this? Here's one right now.
Yes.
That could be a membracid. It's a good tree for membracids. It's a good tree for beetles. When it gets tall, and it grows tall in 2 years, it has these wonderful
tall in
seeds.
2 years?
Oh, 2 years it'll be 20 meters, no, not 20, 2 stories. What's that?
20
20
feet.
feet, at least two stories. And it has, that looks like a membracid right up there. I can't really see too well from here.
Oh
but
yeah,
that-
there
you
I see
all these
3 of
bugs?
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it provides all sorts of food for insects, which of course feed all
Oh
the
here,
other
look
things.
at this beetle. See if I can get it. Oh my.
And there's your beetle feeding on the leaves. This is a Solanaceae. And guess what eats the beetles and the bugs? The birds
Yes.
and everything else.
Especially this guy. He matches my shirt.
Oh wait, all of these are some membracids right in here. I think.
Oh yeah, I see them.
Uh-huh. Here's some, you see one, there's a new ones. The one
Oh,
that's
my.
green, the green one is an adult.
You've been listening to Our Planet, Our Future, brought to you by Rainforest Partnership. From Nyanta Spellman and the Rainforest Partnership team, thank you for joining us.